Officially 5:31, and the mics are live. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the, the 11th, the Tuesday, March 11th, City Council meeting. The City of Hartsville, we appreciate everyone being here. Got a good crowd tonight, got a good bit on the agenda. When we get to the business section, I think it'll probably go pretty quickly, so we'll see if we can't get out of here in a timely manner. To start things off, I would invite Ms. Mack to lead us in an invocation, and then we have the pleasure of having the Girl Scouts here to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us tonight. Ms. Mack, if you would lead us in the invocation, followed by, we'll observe a moment of silence for Mr. Lewis Brown when she's finished. So I would invite you to stand and pray in your faith as we pray in ours.
Let us pray. Most holy and everlasting Father, thou art God and God alone. Father, we come to you today to tell you thank you, for we realize that it is in you that we live and move and have our being. Father, we thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for being able to assemble in these hallowed halls to be able to do the business of the city of Hartsville that we all love so much. Father, I pray now, and I ask you to continue to keep your divine protection around the city of Hartsville. Keep us from hurt, harm, and danger, seen and unseen. Now, Lord, let us do the business of this city so that it will grow forward and go forward together. These and all other blessings we ask in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, we do pray. Amen. Amen. And if you would, observe a moment of silence for Mr. Lewis Brown. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. And now I'll invite in the Girl Scouts. They're going to do a presentation of colors and then lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. If y'all would come on in, we can't wait to see you. Come around up front, come on.
Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Girl Scouts, let's do the Girl Scout promise.
On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by Girl Scout law.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you not only for serving your country, but for serving your city. We appreciate you.
Casey, do we have patches?
Do we have patches tonight? We do. Okay, we'll do that in a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. And now, if you would, while you're here, join us in the civility pledge that is up on the TV screens. I'll kick it off. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagements, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city. I think you guys just stay there. This next part will be pretty quick, and then we'll get to the proclamations, but we can have a seat for now. Now for the meetings of the last minute, I would entertain a motion to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 regular City Council meeting and the March 4th, 2025 special City Council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, so moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Any corrections? Hearing none. Take a vote. All those in favor of waiving the reading and approving the minutes of the last two meetings, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved, and that brings us to presentations. We will be skipping over item A of recognizing our police officers as they are very busy right now. We'll get to that later. But I'll come up and start out with our proclamation for the Girl Scouts. All right. So I'm just gonna, wedge myself in between y'all, if that's okay. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your help with the pledge. We really appreciate it. That was one of the best pledges we've had. So now I have a proclamation to recognize and honor you. Whereas March 12th, 2025 marks the 113th anniversary of Girl Scouts of the USA, which was founded in 1912 in Savannah, our neighboring city. And the Girl Scouts unleashes the GIRL, the go-getter, innovator, risk-taker, leader, in every girl preparing for her lifetime of leadership. And throughout its distinguished history, Girl Scouting has inspired millions of girls and women with courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place. And whereas the Girl Scout leadership experience, girls develop the skills and lessons that will serve them throughout their lives, that they may contribute to their communities. And whereas Girl Scouting takes an active role in increasing girls' awareness of the opportunities in math, science, sports, technology, and many fields of interest that can expand their horizons. And whereas more than 3 million current Girl Scout members nationwide will be celebrating this American tradition and welcome girls from every background to join. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville and the State of South Carolina, do hereby proudly proclaim the week of March 9th through 15th this week as Girl Scout Week in Hartsville and applaud the commitment Girl Scouting has made to support the leadership and development of America's girls and urge all citizens to join me in celebrating Girl Scout Week 2025. It's my pleasure, since you have the Girl Scout flag, I'll present this to you. If you wouldn't mind helping me hold that for a photo. Tighten up a little bit, y'all.
Everybody shoot that.
Are the flags in the way?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Shorter girls go in the front.
There you go.
Little people in the front. Don't scoot up here. Scoot up here. Come down here. Come here, Mom. I think that's all good.
I almost hopped up there too. Normally people say little people in the front. I'm one of those little people.
Fantastic.
So wait a minute, girls. I was a Girl Scout. And I was out getting my lunch today, and I found something really, really cool. It is make your own Girl Scout patch. So that was at Wendy's. So I want to give you all those and make your own patches.
On behalf of Girl Scouts, Hartsville County Service Unit 651, we would like to present the City of Hartsville with a gift of Girl Scout cookies.
Can't complain about that. Did everybody get a patch? Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
good. Thank you all so much. I believe these are to share.
Just giving them eggs.
No, Dan's got
Yeah,
kids
we're gonna
on.
take real good care of it.
That's where those cookies are going.
Anybody want to say anything? All right, well, I think we're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Thank you again, girls.
Flag bearers exit. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you all
It
for
is our
coming.
pleasure, absolutely. Here am I walking off like I'm finished with.
Thank you, ma'am, so much.
Ms. Mack, would you join us up here for this next proclamation, if you wouldn't mind? And Ms. Marie?
Miss Adams, Miss Graham. Women's History, Miss Graham.
Oh, and Miss Graham, yeah, if you would please join us. This is to recognize Women's History Month. Yeah, Miss Graham. So glad to have you here tonight. Thank you all. Thank you all. Whereas the purpose of Women's History Month is to celebrate the vital contributions women have made to the United States and to the city of Hartsville, and to recognize the achievements women have made over the course of American history in a variety of fields. Whereas the vision and achievement of women from every walk of life have made possible the growth and strength of our nation and our city, in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And whereas diverse women in our community play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of life, and whereas American women have served our country and city courageously in the military, well, that doesn't make sense, but whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, and whereas American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in abolitionist movement, industrial labor movement, civil rights movement, and other movements which would create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas despite these contributions, the role of women in history has been consistently overlooked and undervalued in the literature, teaching, and study of American history. Now therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville and the State of South Carolina, I do hereby proudly proclaim the month of March 2025 as Women's History Month here in Hartsville, and recognize the long history of women helping to realize our nation's founding promise and highest aspirations, and to urge all citizens to join me in continuing to work to build a world worthy of the dreams and goals of all women and girls. It is my pleasure to present these proclamations to both of you, to all three of you tonight. These are for both of you pioneering leaders in the City Council here in Hartsville. Thank you so much for all of your past and ongoing hard work in making Hartsville a better place. If you wouldn't mind cheesing for the camera with me. Anyone have any comments?
Yeah, and I'm still concerned about what's going on in Hartsville, and I got some items to present to you.
All right, I look forward to hearing them.
Okay.
Never stops. Great. Thank you again so much for being here. It's our pleasure to have you. Is anyone here to accept a proclamation for the Red Cross? Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. Again, this is a proclamation for American Red Cross Month. Whereas in times of crisis, people in the city of Hartsville come together to care for one another. This humanitarian spirit is part of the foundation of our community and is exemplified by American Red Cross volunteers and donors. And whereas Red Cross volunteers give hope to the most vulnerable in their darkest hours, whether it's providing emergency shelter, food and comfort for families devastated by local disasters like home fires, with volunteers responding to 145 individuals impacted by home fires as recently as 2022, donating essential blood for accidents and burn victims, heart surgery and organ transplant patients, and those receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer, and sickle cell disease, supporting service members and veterans along with their families and caregivers through the unique challenges of military life, helping to save the lives of others with first aid, CPR, and other skills. We're delivering international humanitarian aid. And whereas their work to prevent and alleviate human suffering is vital to strengthening our community's resilience, we dedicate this month of March to all of those who continue to advance the noble legacy of the American Red Cross for its founder, Clara Barton, who lived by her words, "You must never think of anything except the need and how to meet it." It's a great quote. We ask others to join in this commitment to give back to our community. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville, do proudly hereby proclaim this month, March 2025, as American Red Cross Month, and encourage all of us, citizens of Hartsville, to reach out and support its humanitarian mission. It's my pleasure to present this to you tonight. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for all the work that you do. Quick photo. Do you have any comments?
just thank you on behalf of the American Red Cross. Want to thank just all the volunteers in the community that support our mission, and you do it every day. And just very vital for our communities that we're there to support the mission of the Red Cross in a variety of areas. And so thank you for your ongoing support.
Thank you. Appreciate
Do
it.
you have a card with you? Okay.
One more proclamation this evening for Disabilities Awareness. Is anyone here to accept this? Wonderful. If you wouldn't mind joining me here up front. Thank you for being here tonight. Whereas more than 500,000 South Carolina residents and families are impacted by severe lifelong disabilities such as autism, head injuries, spinal cord injuries, intellectual disabilities, and related disabilities without regard to race, culture, geography, age, gender, or economic class. Whereas people with lifelong disabilities are valuable citizens, neighbors, and family members deserving of respect and opportunities for economic self-sufficiency, independence, and personal growth. And whereas the South Carolina Department of Disabilities and Special Needs and the Darlington County Disabilities and Special Needs Board work with families to provide services that encourage independence and inclusion. And whereas we express our heartfelt gratitude to the caregivers who generously provide physical, emotional, and spiritual support to our residents with disabilities and special needs. And whereas 2025 observance of Disabilities Awareness Month celebrates the successful partnership between people with and without disabilities, as well as the increasing involvement of people with disabilities in education, employment, and community activities. Now therefore I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville, do hereby proudly proclaim this month, the month of March 2025, as Disabilities Awareness Month in Hartsville, South Carolina, and encourage our citizens to work together to promote increased opportunities for people with disabilities, to recognize the many contributions made by people with disabilities to our community, and to honor the dedication of the caregivers who bring support and hope to their fellow citizens. It's my pleasure to present this to you tonight. Thank you so much. Do a quick photo op. Now I've got a live mic if you'd like to make any comments.
Thank you for this proclamation. I'm accepting this tonight on behalf of the director, Ruth Blocker, who was unable to be here. And as the chair of the Darlington County Disability and Special Needs Board, we're always looking for board members, and just remember that those of our community members who have a lot of challenges, and just work to support them. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you, Ms. Brenda.
Thank you all for being here tonight, either to accept the proclamations or to witness them. We really appreciate it. And that brings us to our presentations. First up on the agenda, we have the Child and Family Resource Center. If you would please come forward, Ms. McCutcheon. If you wouldn't mind, state your name and address for the record, and then go for it. Limit your comments to about 3 minutes.
Sure will. I'm Jody McCutcheon. I'm here on behalf of Child Family Resource Foundation. And just want to say a couple of things. Not every struggle is visible. I'm going to sit down.
Sure. Get comfortable.
Okay.
Here's the
Not
microphone
every
right there.
struggle is visible.
Could you pull the microphone closer to you?
I sure will.
Thank you for our live viewers. Awesome.
Not every struggle is visible, but right now there are families in Hartsville who feel stuck. Parents are unsure where to turn, children are falling behind, and people are needing support to know and don't know where to find it. I, Jody McCutcheon, Programs Director at Child and Family, am here to make sure families in Hartsville never have to wonder where to look. Not only do we connect families to resources, but we provide real hands-on support, helping with educational needs, mental health guidance, and parenting resources, and tons more. If you check out our website, childandfamilyresourcefoundation.com, you'll learn everything you need there. But almost a year ago, Mayor Hancock, he declared Hope in Hartsville, a proclamation that now is recognized at the county and the state level. And April 27th marks a week where we recognize the need for support, healing, and community. And that's exactly what we stand for. We're working hard to make sure that hope is not just a word. It's something that families can truly find here in Hartsville. If you leave with anything, I hope that you know the next time you hear of a family that's in need, you know where to go. Because we're right here, right around the corner, 122 East Home. We're right there. And what I really want you to know is that when our families thrive, Hartsville thrives. And we need to come together and make that happen. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just for the benefit of the rest of council, I had a meeting with Ms. McCutcheon 2-3 weeks ago, something like that, just to talk about organizations and ways that she could grow her visibility and impact in the city of Hartsville. And I said, this is one place to start. I was recently very unfamiliar with the work, the details of the work that the Child and Family Resource Center does. One of the things she challenged me with was to consider what grief means. One of the many things they offer is grief counseling. And it was interesting because I gave a very narrow-minded answer at first, but through our continued discussions, we talked a little bit more about the different types of grief that so many people experience and the services that they provide to help people work through that and be successful in life. So please do check out the foundation for those of you who aren't very familiar with it, much like I was. They're doing some incredible work here in the city of Hartsville, and we thank you for being here and presenting that to us.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a robot presenting to us tonight, which is kind of cool. I would welcome the GSSM robotics team to come forward. If your representative wouldn't mind, again, stating your name and address for the record, we'd appreciate it. And then we are very interested to see what you've got going on.
I think I've seen that guy before.
Before we begin, I just want to give this to you guys. So this will give you documentation of everything we've done. This is
Very cool. I'll make sure and share it with the rest of council.
Right. So I'm Shimon Patel, and we are from 401 Railroad Avenue, Hartsville, South Carolina.
I'm Caroline Pringle.
I'm Griffin Larry.
Welcome.
Hi, Council. We're Team 772, Golden Dragons from Hartsville, South Carolina, at the Governor School for Science and Mathematics. We are an FTC team, so that means we are a First Robotics Challenge team. And so, since the Governor School is a junior, senior only school, sustainability is super important. And so, since we come from all around the state, we all have different levels of FIRST experience. And so, for example, all of the juniors on our team, we have 5, have no FTC experience whatsoever. So we're all rookies this year. So, however, a lot of the rookies do have FRC, which is First Robotics competition, and VEX experience. So this year we competed at the Worlds at SC. Sorry, we competed at South Carolina State competition, and we won Inspire. So this is what this banner is right here. So Inspire is presented to teams that not only have a good performing robot, but also established amazing outreach and throughout their community, as well as exemplary first ideals. And so this means that we get to go to Worlds this year, which is hosted in Houston. And so that only 2% of teams worldwide get to go to this event. Last year, 772 also went to Worlds by winning the Winning Alliance Captain, which means we had a pretty good performing robot. We were also last year invited to go to MTI, which is Maryland Tech Invitational, hosted at Johns Hopkins University, which is a premier invite-only event where only 40 teams worldwide get to go. So in Hartsville itself, we have many STEM companies and businesses. For example, on the presentation, you can see we have Sunoco, we have the Robinson Nuclear Plant, we have Coker, Anderson Brass, ISI. And so all of these, on top of all of these, we have multiple music festivals, farmers markets, and seasonal festivals like our Christmas one, which bring in a lot of arts and humanities engagement communities.
Okay. So as you can see, we have, as mentioned, we have a lot of different arts and humanities festivals, but we don't have any related to STEM, right? So by having STEM festival, you'll likely begin to see an increase in revenue for local businesses. Because as you may know, if you're walking around a lot, you're gonna get hungry. So then those people are gonna start eating at our local restaurants. And then if they're traveling from very far across the state, they're also getting a place to stay at our hotels. It'll also give Hartsville citizens and STEM businesses a really unique opportunity to engage with these local communities, as well as people from, again, all across the state. And it'll also help increase the STEM potential, because it'll also encourage other companies from across the state, even across the nation, to
to maybe start venturing into Hartsville, South Carolina. So in a study shown, promoting STEM education is not only an investment in individual potential, but also in communities and real estate markets that they will end up shaping. Oh yeah, so as I mentioned, there is no festival like this in any area or region, specifically the PD region. You begin to see a lot in Aiken, Greenville, Columbia, and Charleston, and you see them begin to have a lot of good engagement, right? This will also help encourage our younger generations to follow into STEM-related fields and show it's not as difficult as it may look. It's also been to start to address the workforce needs within South Carolina. So since 2023, engineering saw 57% increase in graduates compared to a decade earlier. However, only 40 to 50% of them stayed in South Carolina, which meant a lot of them ended up leaving our state. And if we have things like STEM festivals, it can maybe even show these older people that, hey, there are chances for STEM within South Carolina and within Hartsville, and give them the chance to stay here and also work in these areas. STEM education is also something that needs to be emphasized to our younger generations to have this occur. And with a better understanding of STEM education and better access to it, we're going to begin to see these increase in businesses. Yeah, so you want to go ahead and talk about the mission statements?
So as Shawnee was saying, there is a STEM festival in Greenville, which is the Upstate STEM Festival. And so, and I think in the later slide you can see photos. Not only are there events relating to robotics, which is what we do, but there's also different experiences for all age groups, including like science experiments and just messing around with physics. And so that brings in a bunch of STEM and science related community engagement.
So getting more to the logistics of how STEM Festival work, it typically be a half day or a full day event, and you're gonna have many booths from those companies and educational facilities aforementioned. You're also gonna see you're probably gonna need to shut down a portion of the street or even an area of the field to set up canopies and things like that. You're also gonna likely need to advertise this a few months prior, not only to the community, but also to companies to try to encourage them to come in, and also you'll likely need volunteers and staff to help out as well. And then these are the pictures that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And yeah, so this is like the robot, for example. So like as mentioned by us, we are going to Worlds again this year. And this is just showing how much we can do if we have the funding and also the attention put into STEM. So I, for example, came from Oconee County, South Carolina, and I was part of a robotics team before I came here. However, this robotics team has been defunded and basically split up. So I have not had the opportunity to do anything up to this level. And having something like this can encourage students to not only venture in it and find it in the other areas of the community, but also encourage them to come here to Hartsville, like to the governor's school, and things like that.
Yeah, to add on to what Shawnee was saying, she had robotics experience before. I'm from York County, South Carolina, and I had no experience in robotics or FIRST or anything until I came to GSSM. And I didn't know that I would enjoy it until I tried out for this team and I got in and I found out something I love. I go in there every day and it's something that I really look forward to doing every day. Also to add on what I was saying before, so since sustainability is super important, we not only focus on strengthening our team year to year and just keeping all the skills that we have, we also like to expand robotics not only in PD region but throughout the state. And so we were influenced by Marvin's Law to help try to expand robotics in Darlington County itself. So we're trying to start up teams, and so we're planning a trip down to Columbia, the capital, to try to promote that.
Outstanding.
Very good, very good. Not only am I impressed by your logo and the design of your presentation, it really speaks to me, but you're speaking to a fellow science nerd. I was chemistry was my particular flavor, so it's very inspiring to see the work that you're doing. We're very proud to have you here in Hartsville. I look forward to seeing where this festival goes. Another festival is a big lift, but I think between with our staff and your help, we might be able to put something really cool together. So I appreciate it. And it's obvious, also from a practical standpoint, you hit on some pretty key points about the industries we are lucky to have here in Hartsville and in Darlington County, and with the growing network of advanced manufacturers in the state, the need is obvious. So you're really onto something here. I very much look forward to seeing where this goes. Thank you again for another very impressive presentation. If you wouldn't mind, turn that to the back just a little bit to make sure the camera gets it before we quit, so our live viewers can see it. Any other questions from council?
Yeah. What's the projected date of the festival?
Yes, so we're here to present it to you.
Mhm.
So we were hoping, GSSM said that they don't want to be the ones managing it, so we're hoping that you guys would be able to take that over. However, we would be more than happy to have a GSSM booth there, as well as even potentially having volunteers help out with the event. So However, a good date that I would say to have is either in the fall or near the spring. So this way you'll also have time to maybe go out during the summer to get these, if you have like flyers and stuff out to these local companies.
Well, like I said, I think our events team might be a little terrified at the prospect of another festival, but again, I think with the help of y'all at the Governor's School, I think we've got something here, so it's very cool. Thank you again. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you all and congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely, congratulations. Y'all should be very proud of what you accomplished.
Yeah, representing Hartsville very well, and the state of South Carolina for that matter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot to ask you what your robot's name is.
Oh, it is Hydra.
Hydra?
Awesome.
So the main other reason, like with our first iteration of the robot, we said that this right here, which is the intake, looked like a viper snake. So for this iteration, we ended up renaming it from Viper, which is what our old robot was called, to Hydra.
Very cool. One more. Ms. Traver, if you wouldn't mind coming forward to update us on your project, start off with the basics, state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. So my name is Natalie Traver. I live in Timber Chase 316 Morning Dove Lane. So I think a lot of you know me already. I've came to present to the council a few times already. I came tonight to update you all on my Eagle Scout project and the progress of it. It's going to be the Hartsville Community Outdoor Stage in Bury Park. And so this is a project I'm so passionate about for so many reasons. I'm very excited about the benefit it will have on the community. I'm excited about the possibility of the increase of performing arts in Hartsville. I'm hoping the stage be able to be a venue for ministry work and other events and festivals in Hartsville and really just be a place where the community can come together and have engagement. So I'm excited to see it move forward. To update you all, right now I'm in the fundraising stage of the project. It's been, this project has been slow to come together, but it's taking off now, and it's really moving forward. I'm very excited about the success I've received so far. So I've been talking to a lot of corporations, organizations, local businesses, and even individuals in Hartsville. Because this is such a community project, I've been really trying to engage with the local businesses and engage with the community to raise awareness and support for the stage right here in Hartsville. And I've received overwhelming encouragement, support, and excitement from the community for this project, as well as several monetary donations. I'll get into the details of that later, but that is very exciting news. I also most recently spoke to a few contractor supply companies and have received the promise of donations of some materials and a cost reduction of other materials. So again, very good news. On another note, my contractor is this week working on the process of submitting a permit. Construction is aimed to begin at the end of this month. We'll start digging for the foundation, and then we'll end at the end of April. So it's all coming together. For the specific numbers for the fundraising update, the overall estimated cost of the project was around $50,000, and that number has fluctuated slightly. As I've received more details, I've been able to refine those numbers. So the final updated overall cost for the project was $50,000. At this point, between all the services, materials, and monetary donations I've received, I've raised around $31,000. And I still need to raise around $19,000. And so I'm still continuing to talk to a lot of corporations, businesses, individuals in Hartsville. I have meetings in the works with Carolina Pines, Duke Energy, and Care South. I've met with several civics groups, including the American Legion, and I'm going to speak to the Rotary. So it's been great to have that engagement in the community. And I'm also putting together something I'm hoping to get into the Hartsville marketplace and have some awareness raised there. So the fundraising is going well, but I came tonight to I'd like to ask the city to help close that gap a little because of just what a large scale of a project it is. So thank you very much for your time. Do you have any questions?
Well, I just wanted to say congratulations. Your tenacity and vision is very impressive. As you mentioned, when you get into the final throes of a project like this, it starts to crunch really hard. But you're doing the work. I don't know how many of you follow her online, but she is out there working these streets and raising money for her project. It's very exciting to see it come to fruition. Is there any other comments or questions from council?
Can you go online and donate?
Yes, sir. So I have, it's on my Facebook page, but I believe I have at this point PayPal, Zelle, and I'm not sure what others are linked, Cash App, but there's a few of those online payment services are linked on it's my Facebook is the Hartsville Community Outdoor Stage is the page.
She'll take your money.
Yes,
She'll,
sir.
she'll get it, yeah. What else? All right, well, thank you again.
I just want to congratulate you again for your tenacity and your staying power with the project.
Thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
all.
And we will, of course, consider your request to see what the city can do to help you out a little bit and get you across the finish line. I look forward to seeing the first performance there.
Yes, sir. Thank you all very much.
All right, that brings us to the end of presentations. Do we have anybody sign up for public comment? Neglected to look. Oh, yes. Mr. Helen, is that right? Thank you for being here, of course. If you wouldn't mind coming and being seated or standing near the microphone. State your name and address for the record.
I'll probably talk loud enough that I don't really need the microphone. Thank you. I'm David Helen. I live at 414 East Home Avenue. I want to bring up tonight the increase of semi-tractor trailer trucks. I was at a city council meeting 2 months ago. Someone brought it up in relation to 5th or 6th Street, 7th. That area, I'm not sure exactly, my memory. If I don't write it down, I'm hopeless. So, increase in Sunoco lost semi-tractor trailer trucks, and Sunoco blatant, we don't care, we're gonna drive through Hartsville. Semi-tractor trailer trucks, now they have closed off 2nd Street access to the plant. 10 years ago, my wife and I were in front of the city council. We were back and forth with the police department, Coker College, Roger Schrum at Sunoco, regarding truck traffic in the area and a new proposed truck route that they had that was effectively killed, which was great because they were going to run trucks every 45 minutes up and down and through Coker's campus. So we were able to stave that off, and we were really happy they closed 2nd Street. But we do, in the last maybe 3 months, have had an increase in semi-tractor trailer truck traffic in and around the historic district. So the streets are not rated for 80,000-pound semis. When we did this 10 years ago, we engaged with the Department of Transportation, and they're not rated. I mean, there's brick underneath the pavement on Home Avenue. So they're just not built for it. There's very little signage is one of my concerns, and I brought this up. When you're coming on Home Avenue towards Hartsville, there's no sign that says no trucks going forward, or if there is one, it's after the fact. They're already committed at that point. Patrick Highway signage on 5th Street, coming across the bridge, signage telling trucks that they have to turn into Sunoco, because a lot of the trucks we get are lost. Like in December, we had 2. I'm in the habit now of just phoning 911, engaging the police department, which I don't want to do, to take up their time. And the last time that I did that, there was one semi that was lost on 2nd Street doing a U-turn. And while the police were there talking to that driver, another truck showed up that was lost on 2nd Street doing a U-turn. So it is happening more and more often. So I think one would be an increase in signage in all directions as something that would help, and 2, having the police pull some of these trucks over. Now, when I spoke with the police officers that I engaged with to have the trucks pulled over, one of the police officers' concerns was that they're not adequately trained to pull over semis. I guess it's law enforcement wise, it's a different procedure from pulling over a car versus pulling over a semi.
Transport police.
I don't know what all that is, but I guess Hartsville Police Department is not, or the officers that I spoke to did not feel they were adequately or sufficiently trained in doing that. So signs, police training, pulling over some trucks. And
Great.
That's my 2 minutes.
Appreciate it. Thank you for being conscious of the time. And you really well illustrated that there's a lot of moving factors here with our industries, our city, our police force, DOT. But I will make the promise to work with the manager and see where do we start here and where do we fill in some of these gaps and make sure that all of us are talking, communicating clearly, and then work on some solutions. We actually have an opportunity to meet with all of our legislative delegation on Friday, hopefully. So might be an opportunity to bring it up, kind of get that conversation going.
Yeah,
So thank you again.
Some signs. I mean, does Hartsville make its own signs? I take it Public Works Department.
We can
makes-
order them very well.
Yeah.
We don't make them, but we can order them.
Oh, okay, well.
It's a mixture of us and DOT. It gets real
Okay,
messy.
however
Yeah,
signs
yeah,
get
yeah.
made and put up.
Sure,
That would
sure.
probably be a first step. That would be great.
Great. Thank you for your time.
So the transport police, is that state,
Federal.
I'm sorry.
federal?
They usually are out on the highways, though, and not on our surface streets, but, we'll pick this up and, see what we can figure out. Thank you for bringing it back to top of mind. Things get lost. That, you are the only person signed up for public comment, so we'll move on into more of the business side of the agenda. Mr. Manager, it's your turn.
Sure, I just have a couple things for you tonight. I wanted to, since we didn't have our officers here to recognize them, I wanted to commend, actually, the other day, we had an event happen. I think the HPD did an outstanding job. They were very quick to respond. And then, I'll just shout louder, but HPD did a great job responding. And I really want to also commemorate, or to congratulate also the amount of response from the Darlington County Sheriff's Office. State Highway came out. It was very amazing to see us all kind of working together to make sure this was safe. We did, at abundance of caution, we shut the schools down for a little bit, but we're able to have a successful result to the end of it. So I'm very appreciative of what they did. I think they did an outstanding job. Second, I also want to recognize a firefighter of ours. I believe he's Lieutenant William Burdick, but he goes by Mikey. But he just passed the South Carolina Fire Officer Academy, so we're very proud of him. He's one of 25, Chief, that gets accepted. So it's just
Awesome.
exciting to see especially some of our more, middle, lower, the ones that want to aspire to greater things are trying to get those certifications. So we're very happy with that. And then here is your reminder for the last time. Make sure you file your ethics by the end of this month at noon. They will call you if you do not. And that's all I have.
Look, they won't call you, you just get that $100.
They will find you. Let's put it that way, yeah.
Well, to piggyback on the appreciation for our police force, I sent a message to Chief Snowbird myself, but I want to publicly acknowledge our appreciation for keeping a good eye on us during the State of City address last week. I don't know how many of you were kind of paying attention and watching the police officers, both plainclothes and uniforms, around the theater, but it was very impressive, and I just really appreciate your hard work and your diligence and thinking about things that would have never occurred to me as a novice. So we appreciate you guys.
I want to personally thank you as well, Chief.
Yeah. And congratulations
Job well
to, congratulations to firefighter Mikey.
And Mr. Mayor, since we're not going to be meeting again before then, March, you have two items on your dais. Is March 21st is Art and Bloom, sip and stroll event. Hartsville Museum's been doing it, but also it's sponsored by Duke Energy, Main Street. Hartsville Museum's from 6 to 9, March 21st downtown. And then the Easter extravaganza, presented by the City of Hartsville and Coker. We love it when Coker comes out. All the students really have a good time with it. April 5th, 2025 at 10 a.m. It's going to be on 300 East College Avenue on Coker University grounds. So please come out. It's a great time. If you want to catch eggs, get there early because the kids are tenacious. But it's free events for ages 12 and under. Oh, sorry. It's not going to be good for you, but it's all right.
Well, and there's an event at the Center Theater later this month, too.
There is,
A lot
yes.
going on. It's event season, the spring version of event season. So downtown Hartsville is hopping, which is awesome. Thank you, Mr. Manager. We will receive the consent agenda as information. Thank you, as always, to our staff, the department heads, for preparing those reports. And that brings us to the nuts and bolts, unfinished business, item 8, the public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4486. Mr. Manager, will you publish it by title and presentation for the record?
Yes, sir. This is an ordinance to amend the lease to AT&T as successor in interest to New Singular Wireless for the installation of their cellular equipment on Pool Street Water Tower. This is a renewal.
Income. I would entertain a motion to approve. Oh, I need to open the public hearing. Anyone who would like to come forward, the public hearing is now open. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and keep your comments to 2 minutes or less if you'd like to speak on this ordinance. Hearing none, I will now close the public hearing. Public hearing for ordinance 4486 is now closed. Now I would entertain a motion to approve the final reading of ordinance 4486.
Mr. Mayor, ordinance 4486 is so moved.
Second.
I have a motion in a second. Is there any discussion on this one? We talked about it, but anything come up? All right. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the final reading of ordinance 4486, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance is approved. Now, moving on to the public hearing, final reading of ordinance 4487. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's an ordinance authorizing the exercise of a purchase option agreement and other matters related thereto. To present, this is the purchase of the 16 acres south of the wastewater treatment plant. Once this is approved, we can move forward with the closing.
All right. Fantastic. I'll now open the public hearing for ordinance 4487. If you'd like to speak on this ordinance, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Keep your comments to 2 minutes or less. Nobody's jumping. I'll now close the public hearing for ordinance 4487 and entertain a motion to approve the final reading of this ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we pass ordinance 4487.
Thank you.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this one? Long time coming. Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the final reading of ordinance 4487 once for all, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance 4487 is approved. Thank you. Moving on to item number 10, the first reading of ordinance 4488. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's ordinance 4488 is an ordinance to lease the property at 149 West Carolina Avenue to Darlington County Humane Society. This is the store downtown that they use for raising money for their operations.
And a renewal once again.
Yes, sir.
I would entertain a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 4488.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this one? Fairly familiar with it. Hearing none, I'll hear a vote on approving the first reading of ordinance 4488. Please, if you want to approve it, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. First reading of ordinance 4488 is approved. Moving on to the first reading of ordinance 4489. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's ordinance 4489, an ordinance to amend Hartsville City Code, Chapter 11, Historic Preservation, Section 11-21, Design Review Guidelines for Cities Historic District, Subsection A, City Historic District 1, Historic Properties by addition of 118 West Carolina Avenue, Tax Map Number 056060340, and Subsection B, General Criteria. To present, this is one church is applying for a historic designation. This is a bit after the fact, but it's okay with the timeline. And what it does, it allows the certain things to be grandfathered in when they're trying to restore it to its historic facade. And Planning Commission voted all in favor of it.
All right. Before any questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 4489.
So moved. Second.
I got a couple motions there. I'll let the clerk work that out. Any questions about this? It's kind of cool. It's exciting to see this underway. I would encourage everyone to ride by the theater under construction and see if you can find the Yeti, which I just noticed today. Hearing no other questions or comments, we'll entertain a vote to approve the first reading of ordinance 4489. If you are so moved, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance 4489, first reading is approved. Moving on to the first reading of ordinance 4490. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's an ordinance to amend the City of Hartsville official zoning map by rezoning a property on Presswood Drive identified as tax map number 055140103 from R1 residential to B2 business. To present, this is of course, a rezoning request to match it with the neighboring parcel, which is B2, which will allow the development of townhomes on that property. This is right at the end of 5th Street. When it turns on the Presswood, they're going to be faced on the lake.
The lot's been open for a long time. It's cool to see something.
It's exciting to see it happen. And
Well, before I comment, I would entertain a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 4490.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion besides me jumping the gun? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the first reading of ordinance 4490, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The first reading is approved. Moving on to our last two items in open session, Resolution 03-2502. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's approval of a memorandum of understanding MOU agreement with South Carolina Department of Environmental Services, SCDES, for aquatic plant management in Presswood Lake. To present, this is to handle the algae bloom that has started going up. We had to work quite diligently on this, and now we're waiting for the weather to warm, which it is starting to do. And once that's in place, we'll be able to address the algae.
Very good. I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 03-2502.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We got a bunch of motions. We love this one. Are there any questions or comments on this resolution before we take a vote? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approving Resolution 03-2502, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is approved. Moving on to 03-2503. Mr. Manager?
Yes, sir. It's approval to apply for fiscal year 2026 community project funding under Appropriations Subcommittee on Agricultural, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration, and related agencies. We are very excited about this. We've been working with Russell Fry's office for quite some time on an appropriation for the new police department. This building is a $10 million investment that we are seeking appropriations for. We will be seeking $7.5 million in commitments with a $2.5 million matching requirement from us. And we are excited that this is a possibility. It's been a long time coming. This will go on the corner of 6th and Carolina, right at the intersection, to extend our downtown, and it is something that is sorely and direly needed by our police department. So we are crossing our fingers and hoping that everything works out.
Before I comment, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 03-2503.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I just want to publicly say thank you to Congressman Fry and his staff for their support on this issue and on others in helping us navigate the appropriations process. They have been amazingly helpful in engaging with us, being proactive in engaging with us, even in visiting the city. Congressman Fry, in fact, is supposed to be here this Friday to check in on things, not this particularly, but just the city as a whole. So I want to publicly say thanks to the Congressman's office and his staff. Is there any other comment or question from council? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving Resolution 03-2503, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is approved. I'm very excited to see that move forward. Now we cross our fingers and wait. And that brings us to executive session. The open part of the meeting has concluded. I have to read this verbatim. I would entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to SC Code FOIA Section 3470A12 for discussion of negotiations incident to propose contractual agreements for the transfer of property.
Mr. Mayor, so moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of this motion? Hearing none. All those in favor of entering executive session pursuant to SC Code FOIA Section 3470A12 for discussion of negotiations incident to propose contractual arrangements for the transfer of property, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We now stand in executive session. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We'll take a quick 3-minute break to gather ourselves and then get back to it.